The thumbnail, a small image or video that's reflective of something larger, whether the larger is social media, a website, or printed material. It's the first thing that you see. It's the representation of whatever it is you're trying to do. Creating a thumbnail that gets the attention that you want is captivating, something that allows people to want to know more can be a little bit daunting, especially if you're not very familiar with graphic design. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create wonderful thumbnails using Canva. However, using just the simplest of elements. Nothing major, very easy. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get to it. Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa S. of By Vanessa S. and welcome to my channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back to my channel. You know how this goes. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Ring the bell so you'll be notified of future videos as they are released, and subscribe. And remember to share. Sharing is caring. Thumbnails are one of those things that it has to be right. It has to be captivating. It has to be interesting. There has to be just a lot to it in order to capture the attention that you're seeking. And what I have found is that making thumbnails can be daunting. However, using some simple elements, some really simple elements, can make your thumbnail go from flat to fabulous. And so that's what I want to show you today. I want to show you how to take a flat, simple, basic thumbnail to create one, and then turn it into something awesome, something fabulous. So we're going to go over to Canva, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I have some pre-made slides, and we're just going to play. One of the things I really like about making thumbnails now, although a couple of years ago I wouldn't have said this because I didn't like making thumbnails a couple of years ago, but Canva has made it really easy with its graphics designs and elements. So let's go on over there and let's see what you can do. Okay, so I am in Canva. I am in my workspace with Canva, and I already have a few slides, a few pages created with text, and we're going to design them. Now with Canva, you have two options. You can start with a blank design, as we're doing here, or you can use a thumbnail and just recreate it. I'm going to show you how to start one yourself and just create it the way you want to, just using simple text and elements. Okay, so let's start with this one, Secrets to Living a Stress-Free Life. When I start my designs, I start with the background color. So let's do that. Everything that we're doing is either going to be in elements. Here's your design panel right here. We're going to use elements, and you'll see it pop up over here. We'll use elements, and then we're going to use the panel up here. Okay, so I want to start with the red background. We're going to make this really easy. So once you get your background on, and you can search for any type of background. You can just say background, and you get this type background. You can say textured background, luxury background. If you have something specifically in mind, you might say Christmas background or a holiday background. I mean, you start from there. But in this case, we're just going to start with a red background. Okay, and I'm just going to choose a red background. I'll choose this one. Now, if you're not familiar with this back button up here, once you do something, if you don't like it, you hit that back button. The back button will take you all the way back to the last action. So it just keeps going to the actions until you get to whatever it is you want. So don't fear losing anything unless you just totally trash it. Okay, so we have our background now. A red background. Let's work on these letters. So your text, secrets to living a stress-free life. This needs to pop a little bit more. And obviously the secrets is the main text on the page. We want it to pop. So let's start out with this one. Here's your next panel. And on this panel, you can change the text if you want. You can change the size. You can change the color, bold. If you want to change from uppercase to lowercase, you use this here. But we're going to use the effects. I notice the effects opens up a different box for you. It opens up a different panel. Okay, and this is the panel we're going to use. So I want this secrets to look a little bit more appealing. And so because it's the largest on the page, I think I want to do a little something with it, right? So I'm going to use the splice. The styles are the elements that you would use to create an ambiance for your text. You can use the shadow. That's what it would look like. And notice when you click on the style, you get a different panel. Awesome. I want to use splice for this one. Okay, so this is splice something. All right, so let me change the color here so you can see a little bit better. Now I'm changing the color. I'm gonna make it purple. I'm changing the color of the back panel text. It's purple. And now you're able to see the outline, okay, which is that lighter blue. Now let me use so can you see, I'm using the thickness. Can you see how thick, as I'm going positive to the right, can you see how thick the outline is getting? So the thickness is controlling the outline. You see it? So however thick you want the outline to be, this thickness bar is what you're going to use. Now the offset, notice what it does. It's moving the back panel. And it's moving the back panel further away from the outline text, or it's moving it closer to. Okay, and then you have the direction. Now the direction decides where you want. Let me make this thinner so you can see. If I make it thinner, you can see it better. Do you see how the direction takes the back panel and moves it from left to right? There. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to leave it right there. I have some numbers. So let's look at, I'm going to put this at 37. I'm going to use the offset at 0 because I don't want any offset, and then make this direction -45. Okay, there. I like that. Now, if you want to change the color of the back layer text, which is this purple here, you would use this panel to change the color. I'm going to use the green. But if you want to change the outer text, this outline, you would use this panel up here for the text color. I'm going to make it white. Okay, there we are. All right, and so we're going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to do something similar with this text, just for cohesiveness. Just for cohesiveness. Okay. And I'm going to change this color. I don't want it to be the same color, so I'm going to do something different. Keep it that color, and then instead of I can give it to white. So I'll keep it to white. Okay. And then I'm just going to make these change there. I'm just going to keep it right there. So that's looking kind of holiday-ish, wouldn't you say? I feel like there should be something else here. So I'm going to go over here to my elements panel and say, add a brush stroke. Okay. And here you can see a brush stroke. So let's take a brush stroke. Any brush stroke. And notice it's coming out black. So these are two different brush strokes. I actually like this one, I'm going to change the color to white. Remember, everything that you have, you can change. And I'm just going to make this small and put it here and then do something like that. Now, I think that's kind of thick and I don't really like it. So how about this? How about I take it off? I'm going to have to move that a little bit to get there. Put that back. I want a thinner brush stroke. So thin brush stroke. There. Now we have thin brush strokes. Anything that you want, all you have to do is ask. Ask Canva for it and you can have it. So I like this brush stroke, but I don't like that it's black. I'm going to change it to white. There. I do like that. And so, again, sometimes because of, okay, so how about I put that there? I'm going to put this brush stroke over here. I actually like that. Okay, so now we have the text. And I'm okay with the text, but it's still missing something. So if this is going to be holiday, what might I want? I feel like there needs to be an image of some sort, something. Maybe if it's secrets to living a stress-free life, maybe I want something that shows stress. So you have these graphic images and then you have photos. I like the photos. So let's look at using one of these photos. Okay, I'm just going to pick one. I like her. So let's add her. Now, the first thing that you should notice is that her background clashes with our background. So what do? You can go up to edit photo, another panel of design. We're going to remove the background. I want to remove this tan color background, remove the background there. Now I just have her. I'm going to put her here, make her fit some kind of a way. There we go. All right, so she's kind of large, right? And so she's clashing with the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her, I'm going to make her smaller for right now. I'm going to put her over here. And then I'm going to take this text, encapsulate it into, I don't want her encapsulated. So I just want to make her just as small as possible to get her out the way. I'm going to encapsulate this text. I want to group it, click on group, and then I'm going to move it over, make it smaller for right now. Take her, make her larger, get her fitted in here like I want it. And it's okay that they touch, the images can touch. That's not the problem. The problem is just making sure that she's in there, like the design works and everything works. So what I'll do is there. I like the way she is now. And I like the way the text is. It's a nice thumbnail. This is beautiful. I really like it. But I just feel like it could use a little something. And so I'm going to use texture. And this is something that I feel that is really underrated. I don't feel people use this function enough, or I just don't feel like it's used enough, but I use it a lot. Okay, so now we have our thumbnail, but we just want to give it a little something. So I have texture. Now you can use graphic texture or you can use photo textures. I'm going to use graphic textures, and I'll show you why. Graphic textures give you just that. They're giving you all types of shapes and dynamics and just different things. And you can use any of them. You can use one or you can use several. It's up to you. So I'm just going to start with something basic, and this is one that I use a lot. Now, this is a texture. It's a background. It's a texture, right? Let's just take this and put it over here. When you look at it, it looks like, oh, okay, so we're just putting a black texture in the corner. No, that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to put this texture across the entire, and notice that you can just keep doing this, or you can do it a different way. You can, I like to do it this way because it's more consistent. So we're going to take this black texture, these circles, and we're going to put it on it. However, we're not going to keep it like this. We're going to use the transparency and take it and do it just like that, just to give it just a little something. Now, you see these little circles on her. We don't want that. She's not a zebra, okay? We don't want that. What we're going to do is we're going to right click, and then we're going to go to layer, and we're going to send the panel to the back. See what happened there? Once you send it to the back, that image goes to the back of the other images. So you'll see them in the background, but you're not going to see them at the forefront. And so that just gives this a little bit of texture. And I like it because now there's a little bit of a dynamic there. There's a lot of textures that you can use to do the very same thing. Now, do I need to stop there? I can, but I don't have to. Sometimes less is more. I do believe less is more, but I just want to show you that there's so many things that you can do. Okay, so now if I want to add another layer of texture, maybe there's something I want to add over here because this, on this side right here, it's a little bit blank. So let's just add this. I'm going to change the color of this one. Maybe I'll give it a green. Yeah, let's give it a green. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. I'm just going to put it over here just in this corner. I also want to notice that it's squared. I want to take it and I want it to be like that, kind of in a corner like that. And I just want to do something like that. And then again, go to your layers panel, send it to the back so that it is in back of the text. I might want to move it there just to give it a little bit of, something. Okay, so now we have our first thumbnail using texture, just that little bit. Let's go to the second thumbnail. All right, so how to make awesome thumbnails. Now with this one, I want to add a black spot. I'm going to use a different color. So what color do we want? We can add, maybe we'll make it orange. Orange is fine. So I want to add a black spot behind the text. Black spot. Any of these will do as a black spot. I'm going to use this one. And it doesn't, again, when you're using your transparency, you're controlling the intensity of the black spot. I just wanted to add a black spot. I'm going to change the color, this background color too. But I'm going to add partial texture for it. Want a textured background. We use something. This time, let's use a photo. Okay, so there. We'll use this photo. Replace background. We're going to use that photo. I still want to use the black spot. Notice you can change here. You can change how large that black spot is going to be. And the black spot, understand, is an effect. Okay. Let's put a color block behind this first line. So to make a color block, you would just use a rectangle. So you're going to add a shape. The color that you use depends on the color of your background, of course, but you want it to stand out. So it took one of the colors that's in your background to give you a suggestion for a color block. All right, so then we'll use, okay, so we have this. I'm going to change the colors here, maybe a dark green. We seem to be using green a lot. Play with your colors to see which one works for you. Okay. And then let's see. So we have this awesome thumbnails. So for our effect, we can use a shadow, a lift, an outline, a hollow, glitch, neon, echo. Any of these can be used. Another thing you can do is you can curve the text if you want. And that's what it would come out with. I wouldn't suggest using curve unless you have a specific design in mind. So let's see. What do I want to use for an image? How about awesome? There you are. Awesome. So let's use she's cute. Let's use her. Okay. We're going to, again, remove the background. We're going to add her here. Now, the one thing you'll notice is that this background actually has texture. So you don't really need to add more texture, but there are things you can use to help elevate it even more. And again, that goes into your element. What you can do is do things like maybe you want some stars or a sparkle, something that's just going to give it a little bit of magic, right? So let's take this. That's just going to give it some color, added color. I'm going to put that behind. Okay. And you know what? I like it. I'm going to do the same thing over here just to give it a little bit, again, just a little bit of color, just a little bit of something. And this purple goes along with the purple that's in the text. So I'm going to add it to this in the back. Okay. And then because I don't want it to overshadow, I'm just going to take the transparency down. Okay, there. So that even gives it a little bit more of something. Now let's add maybe some bling to it. I like these little stars here. All right. Especially when it comes to kids having playful stuff. Okay, I like that. And you don't need a lot. And I like the colors, but I don't want it overshadowing the text. So again, I'm just going to take it to the back, do something like that. I like that. I actually like that. And then how about a layer of something else? Just one more thing. I like that. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. We don't need this everywhere, but let's take it, make it transparent, a little bit transparent, and then send it to the back. There. I love it. I love it. I love it. There it is. You took it from flat to fabulous. Okay. Now the last one I want to show you is this one. We're going to start from total blank page. I'm going to add a background. Let's use a background. I think I want to use a purple background. Purple. I want to use a purple background. Purple is my favorite color. Okay, so let's use a purple background. And I want to use something that already has some elements to it. So let's use that. This already has an element to it. So I'm going to use that, set the image as a background. So this is what we're going to use. Okay, so I'm just going to build on this. I want to add some circles in here. Now I already know, this is what I know. I have decided already that I want a surprise face. So let's use a surprised face, and I want it to be a photo. Okay, so we have surprise faces here. Okay, I'm going to use him. Okay, now I like him, but there's a couple of things. One is I don't like the way he's turned, so I'm going to flip him. There, I want him going in the direction of the text. Okay, I like that. And then the other thing is I want, you know what I just decided? I just decided that I don't want him there. I want to do something different. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to make him smaller. And I want circles. Here, I'll use this one. Okay. So here, as you can see, I'm doing this as we speak. So I like this, but I don't want that color. So let's see. Let me do a green. Maybe a green. A green is good. I like that. Okay. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to give it a different color. How about a pink? Okay, I like that. Put that there. And again, and then I want a different color. One. So I'm going to duplicate it again and maybe put that there. I'm going to give it even a different color. Maybe a blue. Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. But here's the thing. I really want him in this circle. I want him here. So what do? We're going to go here, add frames. If you didn't know, Canva does have frames. And so we're going to use frames. Frames allow you to add images into any of your designs. You can add a frame, which you'll see. I'm going to add this frame. You can add a frame, a shape of a frame, into your design and then create the image as that, in that frame as the image. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this circle frame. I'm going to take it and put it in here in the circle, because this is where I want. Put it in here. I want to make it the right size. Okay. Make sure it's the same size as the circle. Okay. Now I have created this. I've created this frame so that it can hold the image. Now I'm going to put him in here. See how that works? Now I'm going to turn him back around and flip him to the opposite side. And then if I want to make him fit a little better, voila, there we have it. Frames allow you to add images in the way that you want. The one thing I will say when it comes to designing in Canva is the fact that your design is constantly fluid. You can always change it to get to the point that you want it. And this is a perfect example of the type of elements that you can use, adding frames, adding images. And so let's just say I want to, now I like this, all right? I like this the way it is. And so I want to do a different dynamic. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a versus. So maybe I'm doing a versus. I'm going to take this, I'm grouping it, but I'm also going to duplicate it. And I'm going to put it over here. Now, I want this to be, of course, I want to turn it around so that it's the same on both sides. I'm going to put it, I'm going to bring both of these down some. Okay. And I'm going to bring it over like that. Take this over like that. But he's upside down now. I'm going to turn him around. And I want to rotate him 180. Take him and put him in here. But I don't want him, both of them looking the opposite way. So I'm going to flip him so that he's looking at himself. Okay. And then, of course, if I wanted to, I would add text. And if I wanted to change the colors of these, like this one is green and pink and then blue, this one is pink and green and then blue. If I wanted to change the colors, I would literally just go in and change the colors, which I don't, but that's how I would do it if I wanted to, just like that. So I like this, but I want it to be a versus. So I'm going to look for a versus, and I'm just going to take that one. But it's black, and I don't want it to be black, so I'm going to change the color. White. It's fine. It could be more embedded. I can change the intensity of it, or I can make it stronger. I can change the color, make it green or blue, pink, maybe. I'm okay with pink, or just white. Okay. And then add some text. And I'm just using him. I'm just using any text. You can change the text here if you want to something. Oh, okay. Him versus, and I'm just going to duplicate this. Him. I'll put him down here. Him versus him. I'm going to change the color of the text. There. Okay. I'm okay with that. I like it. Just to show you what you can do. Him versus him. If you want to add something, some other elements, maybe some boxing gloves. Yeah, let's do that. Some graphic boxing gloves. You can do, if you want to be playful, I want to move you. Duplicate. Okay, flip this around. There. And there you have it. Okay, and so that's just a way for you to use frames and add frames to your designs. We used him. I want to take a different image because I want to show you how you can just add images. Let's say you want a female, a surprise female. Photos. You can take her. Again, you definitely want to remove the background. Take her, put her in there, turn her around, rotate her, fix her, and then there you have it. I still want to remove her background. There you go. Now it's her versus him. There you go. See how simple that is? And that's just using frames. Okay. The last thing that I want to show you is the design templates. You can use any of the design templates that you want. And I'm just going to go through this really quickly. Let's just say you want to use something like this. It's a design template. You can change the text, of course. You can change, all of these are layers. So this is a layer. This is a layer image. Then you have the background. So let's quickly change the background color. We're going to change the background color to green. We can change the background color to an actual background. Ice. Let's say ice background. Okay, these don't look like ice, but they look like kind of diamondy. So let's use that. You can replace the background. You want to use him. Now this picture that has this ripped effect, this is an actual element that you can use. And you would add ripped, and you can use a ripped page, a ripped book. There's ripped frames. Okay. As you can see, it's really simple. The more that you play with these elements, the more creative you'll become. You'll find that it's easier each time you get into the design space to create these wonderful, fabulous thumbnails. Don't be afraid to play with color. Don't be afraid to play with all of the elements and all of the features within the elements, because you'll find that there's always going to be something that you like and you'll use over and over again, and then you'll find things that you did not know exist. And don't forget that Canva is always updating and increasing and enhancing and adding to their elements and their features. So you might find that there are elements there that were not there before, but they're all there for your use. So anyway, that's it for me. Until next time, thank you for watching.